Ever feel like you're fighting a losing battle with your own habits? Today, we're going to break down a simple but incredibly powerful rule that flips that whole script. See, it's not about finding more willpower. It's about working with your brain's natural laziness, not against it.
We always think of laziness as a bad thing, right? A character flaw we need to fix. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if that natural pull we all have towards the easy path could actually be your secret weapon for building good habits and finally breaking the bad ones? All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into what I call our default settings. Then we'll uncover the 20-second solution with a really simple story. After that, we'll touch on the science of activation energy, talk about redesigning your environment with some practical tips, and wrap it all up with a 3-step action plan you can use today. Okay, first up, your default settings. Think about it. When you're tired, when you're stressed after a long day, your brain isn't looking for the best possible choice. No way. It's looking for the easiest one. It always follows the path of least resistance.
It's kind of like getting a new phone. It comes with a default ringtone, a default wallpaper. You didn't choose them. They were just there. Well, our habits work the exact same way. We have these autopilot behaviors that we just fall back on without a second thought. But here's the key. Just like on your phone, these defaults can be changed. So if we have these defaults, how in the world do we actually change them? Well, let's look at the story of author Sean Acor. He stumbled upon a really simple solution that proves how one tiny little tweak can lead to massive change. Sean's goal was super simple, and honestly, something I think a lot of us can relate to. He wanted to spend less time zoning out in front of the TV and more time actually practicing his guitar. Sound familiar? But just telling himself to do it, well, that wasn't cutting it. The TV stayed as default, and the guitar just sat there, collecting dust. So he realized the problem wasn't a lack of desire or motivation. The problem was a tiny, almost insignificant barrier. It took him about 20 seconds to walk to the closet, pull out his guitar, open the case, and get ready to play. That's it. That little bit of friction was just enough to keep his TV habit in charge. And this is where he flipped the script. He did something brilliant. He didn't just make the good habit easier, he also made the bad habit harder. He put his guitar on a stand right in the living room, reducing that friction to basically zero. And then he took the batteries out of his TV remote and put them in another room, adding about 20 seconds of friction to his unwanted habit. And that's it. That is the 20-second rule in a nutshell. You just decrease the effort for the habits you want to build, and you increase the effort for the habits you want to break. It's all about strategically using your own laziness to your advantage. Now, this might sound like a neat little life hack, but it's not just a clever trick. It's actually based on a core scientific principle. The reason this works so incredibly well is because it directly messes with something called activation energy. So, what is activation energy? Just think of it as the startup cost of an activity. It's that little bit of oomph you need just to get going. And every single action you take, from brushing your teeth to running a marathon, has one. I mean, let's compare. Watching TV has incredibly low activation energy. You grab the remote, press a button, done. Going to the gym, though, whoa, that has a huge activation energy. You got to find your gym clothes, you have to pack a bag, get in the car, drive there, change, and you haven't even started the workout yet. It's all those tiny little barriers that add up and stop us in our tracks. And this brings us to the most important insight of all. The biggest obstacle isn't doing the thing itself, it's just getting started. If we can lower that initial energy cost, even by a tiny bit, our chances of actually following through just skyrocket. Okay, the theory is great, but let's make this really practical. How can we, as busy professionals, actually redesign our own environments to lower the activation energy for the things that really matter? For your health, it is all about preparation. Choose a gym that's literally on your commute, so it's not a separate trip. Pack your bag the night before. Hey, some people even sleep in their gym clothes to remove one more tiny barrier in the morning. And for nutrition, get the junk food out of the house and have healthy meals prepped and ready to grab. You want the healthy choice to be the easiest choice. And now for focus. Our phones are basically anti-focus devices because the activation energy to use them is near zero. So you have to add friction back in. Put it in another room while you work. If you can't do that, delete the most distracting apps. Even just moving those apps off your home screen and into a folder adds a few seconds of effort, which can be just enough to break that autopilot scroll. Now, for those of us who work on a computer all day, this is a total game changer. Create two separate user profiles. One profile is for work. No games, no social media shortcuts, just your essential tools. And the second one is for play. This separation creates a really powerful barrier, making sure that when it's time to work, you're actually working.
All right, we've covered the why and the how. So now let's just distill this entire thing down into a simple, actionable plan that you can put to work the second this is over. The key here is to keep it simple. Please do not try to change your whole life at once. Step 1, pick just one good habit you want to start. Step 2, ask yourself, how can I make starting this 20 seconds easier? And step 3, identify one bad habit that gets in the way and figure out how to make it 20 seconds harder to start. That's it. That's the entire plan. The power of this whole rule is its simplicity. It's not about finding some superhuman willpower. It's about making small, intelligent changes to your environment. So think about it. What one tiny 20-second barrier can you remove or add today to start steering your life in the direction you actually want to go?